A lot more easier, right? Feels a bit more easier. Yep. Feels easier?
Yep, a lot easier.
Yep.
Is it a little bit bigger?
This one is about similar in size. Graphite will be the new way to go in technology. If you look at it, Bryson, you know how hard he hits it?
Exactly.
He uses graphite shafts. Nice. Okay, so 7-9. So give me about maybe 4, 5, half a dozen shots. Yep, great start.
Good start.
Yep, great swing.
But I don't like drawing.
You don't like the draws?
To the left, yeah.
Is that what's happening on your good shots right now?
Yeah.
And ideal ball flights, you want to hit a fade, left to right kind of thing.
Left to right, a little bit like.
And when you miss right now, what are they? Are they bigger draws or hooks?
Yes, almost like hooks.
So you want to set it up to sort of be like anti-left.
Yes, yes.
Sure. All right.
If I miss to the right, I'll be very happy.
So you're more than happy to just miss, like it swinging to the right, peeling off to the right.
Yep.
Okay. Pretty straight.
Yeah, but that will turn into
a draw.
Yeah, big draws later.
And how far do you hit your 7-iron?
150 meters.
150 meters carry, is it? Or total?
Carry.
Yeah, so that 2 shots, 150, carry, 158. Yeah. Good, couple good shots. Couple more, it's good. Yep.
Yeah, something like that. That's
good.
Big draw.
Pretty good, okay. So that probably drew a little bit more than what you like.
Right.
But pretty consistent in the sense that like every 3 shots that you hit, 114, 115, 116, 115. So on average about 115. Ball speed, pretty good. Strike, like dead center for 3 strikes. 150, let's call it 151 carry, 159 total. So what I like about this is your landing angle is 44.3. It's a good number. So what that means is when you hit those kind of shots, so landing angle is basically the angle of descent at the back end. So the steeper that gets in, the softer it's going to land, the quicker it's going to stop. So think of like if you hit it high enough, you get those pin positions where it's tucked right just behind, front pin position in front of a bunker, just behind a bunker. You want to come in like really high, soft landing kind of thing. So that it's a good base to start with.
Okay.
What I'm seeing is just most of the time, like in terms of dispersion, except for that last one that went a little bit more left. But generally, it's pretty good. Your north-south is pretty good. Okay. So let's try some stuff right now. That shaft that you have, are you happy with that shaft, like weight-wise and everything?
No, I'm not happy. It's.
What do you want to try? You want to try something heavier, lighter?
I've been playing golf for a long time now, right? Now, after 30 years, now I want to play easy golf.
So stress-free, easy, not too,
slow down.
Sure.
Use big heads, lighter shaft.
Great. Sure, we can start there, easy.
Yeah.
Let's start with, okay, so I have, that's a 120 gram shaft. I'll probably drop it a little bit so I don't make it too drastic a drop. Okay. So let's just drop that a little bit to Motor Street 105. Something like this. And we'll see, we'll just test it out. We'll just test it out. With a probably T150 right now, which is 32 degrees of loft. And I'm just going to keep everything all standard first, and then we'll play around with it.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you reckon fitting can change ball flight?
Fitting can change ball flight. Fitting can change a lot of things, not just ball flight, but also getting you the consistency and certain ball flight that you want, or certain ball flight that you don't want, that kind of thing. We can sort of decrease that or increase something that you want, add a bit more benefit of what you want, and probably take away something that you don't like. So there's a lot of components to it. Ball flight is one of it, and how we do it in Taitlis is usually through lie angles. So obviously, if in your cases, if you want to play a fade, we can induce left to right by going toe down. So in this case, maybe a 2-degree flat. So right now, I just kept it as standard. Let's hit a couple of shots and see how that feels. So the lighter shaft, T150, sort of similar to your current gamer in that sense, and at the lighter shaft, which is what you requested. So have a go with that and see how that feels.
T150 한번 쳐볼게요. 샤프트는 NS Pro 모듀스. How heavy is this?
105.
105. 105.
So about 15 grams lighter than your current gamer in KBS. And it might feel a little bit more softer as well because KBS is a little bit more harsher.
Wow. Less gravity.
A lot more easier, right? Feels a bit more easier. Yep. Feels easier?
Yep, a lot easier.
Yep.
Is it a little bit bigger?
This one is about similar in size. It's a blade forge that we have over here. And then now let's just try. I'm going to try a few settings right now. Just give this one a go, see how that one will react.
I'm happy to lose maybe 5 or even 10 meters.
Yep.
But if I can hit a little
left
fade
to right
consistently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that kind of ball flight?
Yeah, that felt different.
Yeah? Good.
What did you do to it?
I played with light angle. So basically going 2 degree flat, which is basically bringing the toe down a little bit.
Toe down,
and that should induce a little bit of left to right. On a robot, it will.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah. So this is something that I can set up in such a way where if you hate the left side a lot and you're okay for it to just drop right, this is a good setting. And you can see how that's just literally straightish.
Yeah.
No longer dropping to the left like your first couple of shots where you have. Yeah, try and hit one more. Nice. So you can see it's struggling to get left. Yeah, it's struggling to get left now. This is a low strike. Yeah. So in essence, you can see all the shots that you have right here comparing with yours. You are going a little bit more further with this.
Yeah.
But this is just probably about half a club shorter.
Yeah,
but
it's fine.
What is even better, like I like where the landing angle is. So where yours was 44.3.
Yep.
So the run out was about maybe 9 meters.
9 meters.
This is just slightly higher. The run out is now 6 meters. You see that?
Yeah.
So you get much more better stopping power as well. So that's what we try to work on, especially for 7 irons, because that's where your scoring opportunity lies. You know, get you a little bit more higher. And in essence, the PGA guys, they hit it high.
Right.
So that's where they make money. Whoever hits it high enough gets an opportunity to be able to stop on the green a lot more quicker. So in essence, you probably lost a little bit of maybe half a club, but you said you were okay to lose a little bit of distance as long as you get that flight that you want. But now we've added stopping power as well.
Right.
So that's just basically trying out the T150. How does that shaft feel?
I think I can try even lighter ones.
Even lighter ones you want to try? Okay, sure. Let's keep this guy here. Let's KIV him. The other one that I would like for you to try, what's your take on graphites?
Oh, I'm happy to use graphite.
Graphite.
Never used it before
Yeah?
in my irons.
Great.
But I'm happy to do anything.
Sure.
Now.
So this is a Tensei White.
Tensei White.
It's about roughly 108 grams, 110 grams in that sense.
So it's heavier.
It is a heavier graphite. So everyone will think that graphite is a lot lighter, softer, that kind of thing.
Right.
But right now, because you can see how graphite will be the new way to go in technology. If you look at it, Bryson, you know how hard he hits it?
Exactly.
He uses graphite shafts. So graphites now, the advantage of having graphite shafts now is, in the olden days, steel shaft, if you want to make it heavier, stiffer, you got to add more material. So the sidewall becomes thicker, that kind of thing. It becomes bulkier. Some people feel it's harsh. Graphite is the way they weave that technology into it. They can make it as heavy as steel, but without the bulk. And if you have any arthritis or whatever, graphites will tend to soften those kind of injuries for you. There you go. So graphite could be the way to go. So this is actually about 108, 110 grams. If anything, it was slightly heavier than the one that you just did.
But it feels lighter.
It feels lighter? Great.
What's that?
Yeah. So I kept the same head, T150, and we're just playing around with shafts right now. Once we lock the shaft in, then we can play with different heads.
Okay, got it. Wow, it's like 텐세이 화이트 아이언 샤프트인데요. 플렉스는 X인데 110g에 근데 상당히 멋있습니다. 일단 한번 쳐볼게요. 그라파이트 아이언은 거의 처음 쳐보는 것 같은데요. Okay, wow.
Right.
Wow.
So not many people would think about using graphites, especially for a fast swinger such as yourself. Their impression of graphites is it's light, it's soft, it's not going to be for me because I swing it too fast. But I've got a 125 gram TX shaft right here. If you want to try, it's a graphite shaft.
Yeah.
So a lot more heavier, and it's an X Flex Tour X Flex shaft, and that sort of like gives you like the weight of a steel, but without the bulk. And feels a bit more softer in your joints, maybe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Feels nice, right?
feels nice.
Like you probably won't think of it, and generally a lot of people won't go to a graphite shaft for that sense. But yeah, pretty good. Couple more. There we go. That was nice. Strikes pretty
That was-
good down the middle. Just shut the face a little bit on that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. So
I was
2.5.
committed. Because usually when I commit to the shot,
Yeah.
I close down the club face.
Right.
'Cause
Okay.
That's my natural pattern of
Yep.
release.
And we can see how that one is coming down. You shut the face a little
Yeah,
bit, so it's
yeah.
just going to induce a draw a little bit in that
Yeah.
sense. So as a fitter, I'm more in charge of north and south.
Yep.
You as a player, you're in charge of east and west. So where you hit, if you shut the face, it's going to go left. If you open the face, it's going to go right.
Yep.
So that's you're in charge. I'm in charge of the north and south. So if I can get your pattern in such a way where, for
Okay.
distance control, if I can get your, so if I eliminate the last one, that
Yeah.
last one over there, this is what it looks like. See how tight that one is
Yeah.
from north and south.
North
So
and
you're in charge of east and west. So if you
Okay.
lose it out, open up the face, it goes out here.
Can you be in charge of east and west?
East and west is on your hands. You're the driver.
That's difficult.
Yeah, but
That's difficult.
I mean, ideally, we can try to tighten the dispersion as much as we can, left and right.
Yeah.
But for irons, we don't want to hit, like if we crush one,
Yeah.
if the 7 iron goes 150, we don't want it to end up going 155. And if you miss one, it doesn't want to drop to like 140, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So you want to keep it in a consistent range where even if you hit it good, it's still there, maybe 1 yard gain,
Yeah.
1.5 yards gain, you miss 1 yard loss, 1.5 yard loss.
Yeah.
So in that way is when you hit your 7 iron to a pin, say it's 150,
Yeah.
you're either 151 up or 149 down.
Yeah.
How does that shaft feel?
Feels good.
Yeah? Speed mesh, MMT, 105.
105.
Let's try that. So another graphite shaft as well.
Mitsubishi 그라파이트 105S입니다 이번에.
So the speed mesh MMT is getting a lot of traction right now. It's one of the popular shafts that we have right now. Yep. Probably not as good as the Tensei.
Right.
How does that feel?
A little
bad.
bit. Yeah, a little bit softer.
A little bit softer?
Yeah.
Tensei was a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Probably the last shaft I want you to try, just one more. We'll jump in the KBS Tour Lite.
Yes.
Yeah, so something that you're familiar with, the KBS,
Right.
but a lighter package, much more lighter package actually.
Yep. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. This one here.
Is that? Oh, this is steel.
This is steel. So we're jumping back to steel again, just to try.
Yep.
This is a good shaft in the sense that if you want something that is lighter, but you want stability as well.
Yeah. 이거는 KBS Tour Lite S. How heavy is this?
95 grams.
95g입니다.
So it's pretty stable, right?
Yeah,
it's
a
pretty
lot
stable,
more.
but light. So imagine this is a stabler shaft, stiffer tip, lower torque, but at a lighter package.
Right.
Something that we could put in your bag. Like what I see from here, pretty good. Yep. There you go. See that? That's over the other ball.
Yeah. Why do like all the golfers think they need to use like 120-gram shaft steel?
Okay.
Why is that?
I think it's more for like you watch your favorite players on PGA Tour, and those guys, well, those are world-class players. They tend to swing it faster. They go to the gym every day, you know, work on the swing and that kind of thing. And they tend to go on the heavier side just for stability in that sense. And the essence is some people just look at it as like, oh, that's my favorite player. If he's using that, maybe I could try that one. And it probably won't work as much. So coming to get fitted is the most essential part that you can do to your game. The biggest investment that you can do to your game. So like in your case is you want to hit a left to right fade.
Yep.
Okay, I can induce that. Do you want to try a lighter shaft, but maybe with the same stability, that kind of thing? And this we have here is a 95 gram. So this is about 25 grams lighter than your current KBS, and probably just slightly higher torque, but not by far of a margin that you still offers you the stability, but in a much lighter package.
Right.
Or if you want a graphite because of your joints, you know, easy on your joints, especially for miss hit, if you're going to play a lot of golf, the Tensei White was a good option as well.
Right.
At 108 grams.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's straightish, bit of a fade in a way.
Yeah.
So just low strike, that one, not too bad, but right there.
Nice.
Good. So between
Maybe
the two shafts, what are your preferences right now?
I like graphite.
You like that one? Yeah, let's go back in. Let's get back in. So, sanity check. Let's get back to the shaft that you like. So, half the battle is knowing what you like. And if you can set that one up, that's where your confidence will eventually grow. Because you like something, it feels good in your hands. So, yeah. And this was also giving you like the fades that you want. Whereas the KBS light, probably just a little bit lighter. Too light, maybe. That's why some shots you were still inducing a little bit of a draw.
Yeah.
So, this one was... looks like the sweet spot.
다시 텐세이로 왔습니다.
So we're back with the shaft that you liked, and it was giving you the ball flight that you wanted.
Right.
Which is the most important thing. That was the one thing that you walked in here. I just want to change my ball flight.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
That's better. I love it when the ball starts from the left.
Yep. That's right. And then that gives you the chance for you to just come back to the right.
Fade off.
And what I like about this combo right now, this T150 and the Tensei White, is your landing angle now, it's above 45. We're in the 46 region, so you can see where yours was. Your benchmark was 44.3. The run-out was about 9 meters. This guy, 46, the run-out was like 6 meters.
Nice.
See? So that's just going to stop on the green a lot more quicker for you. There we go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's it.
Love
That's
it.
what I want. Every single shot. That's what I want.
Yeah. So just a little bit low, has that shape that you want, carries in the 145 region. So in terms of dispersion, there you are. Still in that spot right there. Really, really nice. And
slightly,
So instead of 150, 144, which you don't mind losing a little bit of distance, but predominantly a little bit of a left to right and higher landing angle. Great, good job. It's the way of the future for graphites right now, because if you look at it, everything that steel can do, they pretty much extracted that. Everything's all the technologies are all in graphites. So you can see how drivers, they invest so much R&D into graphites to make it better and better and better. Eventually, irons, that's the way to go, I would say. And it feels softer, it feels smoother than a steel, right? In a way.
Right.
Yeah.
But still really stable.
Yeah, it's stable, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the T100s.
T100.
So T100, so the T150 earlier that you hit, it's a blade full forge. It's the same as the days of AP2. So they use the same construction work of AP2. And now this is the T100. So the T100 is a slightly weaker loft at 34 degrees.
Weaker loft.
Slightly weaker loft, 34 degrees. More traditional 7-iron loft.
Right.
Nice, there we go. So once you strike it down the middle, like what you just did, look at the landing angle, look at everything. Yeah.
Nice.
So this will give you the tightest tolerance in north and south for dispersion. So if you flush one shot, the differences of like jump is a lot more, significantly a lot more less. And when you miss it, it's significantly a lot more less as well. But you see, it's not going to go as far because it's 2 degrees weaker.
Right.
Nice.
That was
very nice. Yep, just let me tag that one up and I'll just do a summary of it. Really good, good swings.
Yeah.
How does that head feel?
Small.
Smaller? Don't like it? But here's the good thing, if you look at this, between the 150 and the 100, what you're hitting, like almost identical between the two. See that? In terms of carry distance, in terms of total, they're almost identical between the two of them.
So
and landing angle as well.
Oh, that's T100 and that's T.
This is 150. That's the 100 right here. Yeah, pretty good. Like side by side. Yep. See how that north-south is a lot more tighter for the T100. 150 has a little bit more leeway in that sense, but it gives you a little bit more forgiveness and friendliness, especially for off-center hit.
Right.
So if I were to ask you between the two, do you have a preference between the two? If you want to play stress-free golf, a little bit more easier, probably the 150 is the way to go.
What about another one?
Sure.
Like
it's about to jump.
Bigger.
Yeah,
bigger head.
Of course, definitely.
The bigger, the better for me.
The bigger, the better. But we have to make certain concessions as well.
Forgiveness.
So this is the T200.
T200.
It's a hollow design, a little bit more how do I say it? It's forged face and forged sole, so it is a little bit softer than our previous generation.
Yeah.
But what's good about this is, especially for off-center hit, it is a slightly larger hit.
T200이고요. 샤프트는 아까 텐세이 X. 이게 T200이 방금 말했던 게 뭐냐면은 잘못 맞아도 용서를 잘해준대요. Forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Sure. And we can set you up nicely for it.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice. So
Yes.
this is a 30.5 degrees of loft for the 7 iron.
Yep.
But the crazy thing is about this is, after that shot, although it's the first shot, but notice how high it still goes.
Right.
See what I mean? So there's enough tungsten that they have over there to get that launch up. So
Yep.
not only it was going to go further, which is about 150 that first shot,
Yep.
but it maintains the height. That's a 46 degree.
Oh.
See, that run out was exactly 7 meters
Right.
for T200. So it goes out a little bit more further,
Yep.
but it still maintains that landing angle that we talk about.
Yep.
See
That
how
was
high that
good.
one is?
That went so
Right.
high.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And that's a 30.5 degrees of loft, but produces crazy heights. Look at that, 48, that's one of your highest.
nice.
And that is 5.3 of running.
Nice.
And in terms of dispersion, pretty good, loft, north and south. Pretty good. A lot of people don't realize like how powerful these clubs are when you get the right models in your hand.
Right.
And it does the things that you want to do.
Right.
Look at that. Like stress-free,
is
right?
good.
You take that any day, all these 3 shots.
That was good.
And the amazing thing is, all 3 shots, 116 ball, 116.5, 116.9.
Yep.
But if you group them all together, almost 150, 45, 47.5 landing angle.
That's
Dispersion.
Yeah.
That's how tight it is.
wow.
Crazy, right?
아, 여러분들 피팅이 이렇게 중요합니다. 스윙 바꾼 거 아무것도 없습니다 지금. 와우.
So the T100, T150 is good.
Yep.
But if you're looking for, in your case, is you come in here, you want the left to right ball flight, you want to play a little bit more easier, lighter
Yep.
shaft, stress-free, that kind of thing. And yeah, so far, pretty good this setup.
Wow.
Feels good in your hands?
Feels really good.
Great. Brilliant. Love it. There we go. Welcome back.
That's it.
Welcome
That's the
back.
one. Baby cut.
Baby cut, that's right. All day long. Like I said, welcome back.
Welcome
so if
back.
I would just be picky and just take that one off, that's your dispersion right there. Pretty good.
Wow.
I see you enjoying it.
I'm loving it.
Yeah? Okay, let's KIV this guy. Hit one more. Okay, hit one more. Hit one more. It's fun. You can tell when someone loves what the setup is, they just want to keep hitting.
Yeah. I didn't change any swing.
No.
Just
Nice. So for us at fitting, we try not to play with your swing, and there's nothing wrong with your swing. That's how you swing it, which is good. It's consistent, which is good. So there's a little bit of predictability. That's your dispersion right there. And
Yeah.
strike's pretty good. And we're back to where your Mizuno Pros are giving you.
Right.
So right now, if you choose a T200 in your bag, there is no like concessions that you gotta make.
Right.
If you hit 7 iron at this hole, at this shot, back in your local course,
Yeah.
same shot. But at a much higher landing angle.
Yeah.
So that
Nice.
is T200. Let's try another one. We have a T350. If you think the 200 was easy, the 350, so much more easy.
All right.
Crazy.
Right.
That one's crazy.
Let's see.
This is the one that we're really proud and excited about, the 350. It's our current game improvement iron. So it's the largest of the family, a little bit more longer blade length, a little bit more thicker, wider sole, a little bit offset, bigger sweet spot.
Wow.
And have a guess what loft that is. So the T100 is 34, the T150 is 32, the T200 is 30 and a half. Have a guess what that is.
28?
9.
29.
29.
와우. 29.
29.
7번인데 29도입니다 이거. 29도. 와우. T350인데요. 와, 뭐 거의 뭐 완벽한 채라고 하는데요. 샷에 문제가 있으면 전적으로 저의 문제입니다.
As we go like from 150, so we went to 100, it was a little bit more harder. Then 200 easier, 350 a lot more easier.
Yeah.
But hit it. Don't take my word for it, just hit it.
This is it.
This is it.
This is it. This is it.
Let's hit a few
wow.
shots. In the shaft that we like, in the setup that we like, I'm just changing heads right now just to show you the difference.
This is it. This is it.
Whoa. Nice.
I just could tell it at setup.
Love at first sight.
That's it.
Great strike, that one. 146. Look at that. Your landing angle is 47.6. Remember I said it's 29 degrees?
Right.
It's the lowest loft, but in terms of height,
Exactly.
it's almost one of the highest. So that model has the most tungsten at the bottom right there. And the deal with that one is basically not just a stronger loft will get you more further, but usually every other manufacturers, they can make a strong loft, fine, but they'll come off flat.
Right.
And when you land on the green, flat, it's gonna run, it's not gonna stop. This one, they've done so much R&D into it, they've invested so much money and so much of R&D into it that not only gets you, advance you a little bit more further in distance, but it maintains the height.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
This is the one that I've been looking for.
Yeah? Say a couple more.
For like a decade. This is it.
Right there in your hands.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at the height. Look at the height.
Look at that.
You look at the height.
Look at that.
Okay? There you go. Good. One more, just one more for fun. Nice.
This is it.
Look at how high that one is.
High.
Bit of a baby face,
somehow
which
it's
is what
fading.
you want.
I don't know why.
Yeah. It's just a setup. There you go. Lovely. And dispersion, yeah. Except for that one that got way too right. That was you opening up the face a little bit too much.
Is that the first one?
That was the first one, that's right.
Oh.
See? So that was you coming with the face open.
But even that,
But
I'm
in
fine.
terms of
I'm fine with that.
In terms of north and south, it's a lot more tighter. Pretty good. So, at Taitleist, usually about 85% to 90% of our fittings, we actually do a blended set. Combo set, whichever you want to think of it.
Combo,
So, obviously the T350, probably not a 7-iron for you. You probably love the T200 7-iron setup. So think of it this way. Think of the T350 as the longer part of your bag. 4-iron, 5-iron, that kind of thing. And potentially, we can actually set up the bag in such a way where we can go T350 at 4-iron, 5-iron, possibly, and then 6-iron down, T200. See how that flows? Really, really nice.
Yeah,
so it gives you a little bit more stability, a little bit more forgiveness and friendliness,
Yeah.
especially for the long end.
Yeah.
And with the stronger loft, you're going to open up the gapping a little bit more, which is fine because you're going to be approaching on long par trees. That little bit extra distance will help you out.
Yeah.
But what is most important is with the 350, although it's a much more stronger loft, it still gets up in the air so much more high. So imagine you having a 4-iron and you generate those kind of height that you have like a 7-iron. So you're firing at flags at maybe 200 yards out there, but coming in at the angle of a 7-iron angle of descent. How quick you're gonna stop? So you can think of it that way. Like 4-iron T350, 5-iron T350, and probably 6-iron T200 down. Yeah.
I'm happy with 350 all the way.
All the way. But I think T350, the only issue, if there is an issue with the T350 is, if you catch it solid, because it's a very very flinchy head face, when you catch it solid, it might flinch a little bit more. So if let's just say you hit a 150 for 7-iron, you catch it well, it might get you to 153, 154. When you miss it, probably maybe 148 or whatever. But when it comes to like mid irons and down, like maybe 6-iron down, you want to be able to hit the numbers all the time. So pros are paid by hitting the club at a specific number all the time. We don't want to flush one and oh crap, it's gone over the back of the green. When you miss one, it's the front of the green, that kind of thing. So for the long irons, it's fine because you're talking about 200 yards out. But from like, let's just say maybe 170 yards and below, you want to have a club that gives you that stability in north and south. And for me, T200 will be the better one. T150 was good, but if you prefer the T200, reason being is a little bit more safer, a little bit more friendlier, forgiveness. I'm all for it. So that could be the combo, T350 and T200.
T200.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Why is it fading?
Why is it fading? You asked for fade. I gave you fade.
I mean, I love it, but why? What did you do to it?
Well, I've gone 2-degree flat, so basically getting it towed down. And that on the robot will induce a left to right kind of swing path. So when you come through, it's just going to gauge you that little bit of that left to right curvature that you like. We're going to do wedge fitting right now, and this graph will show us like stuff that whether you have steep angle of attack, whether your shaft lean is a lot or less, that kind of thing. It will pitch the graph up, and then after every shot that you hit, it's going to pick up all the data from there, and so I'll give you a recommendation for bounce and grind.
Got it.
Nice. Nicely done. Okay, while it computes, your pitch is here, your full shots are here, your open face is here, so it's all three different way of delivering. And then the cost condition that you play. So these are the recommendations.
구독, 좋아요, 감사합니다.